Okay, here we are. The sun is heating up the water. In this case, our water is boiling. The sun will not make the ocean water boil, but it will heat it up. And now, do you see what's coming up off that water? It's not invisible right now because that water is so hot, but this is an exact example of what happens. The water, in this case, it's quickly evaporating, and you can see a little bit of steam, which is actually clouds in our house. Yeah, it is. That's clouds in our house. Steam raising. So I'm going to take my glass over here, and I'm going to carefully hold it up over this steam. Now watch. Do you see my glass starting to cloud up? It's catching clouds. It sure is. It's catching clouds. And if you can look closely at that, you can see what's starting to happen. Oh man, that keeps happening to me. Okay, I'm gonna bring it closer to you. I'll bring this closer here. Because what I want you to be able to see is the water droplets forming inside this glass from the steam. So it's forming like a cloud in the sky. And inside here, you will see if I tilt it towards the light there, do you see those water droplets that are forming? Eventually, those water droplets get so big, the cloud gets so heavy that it has to what? What will happen? I wonder, what falls from the cloud? What kind of water falls from a cloud? Oh, it's starting. It's starting. You can see them starting to drip down the side of the glass. I'm gonna put it up close. See all those water droplets? It's getting so heavy. I'm gonna heat up the water again a little bit more. I'm gonna heat up the water a little bit more. I'm gonna move it over this way. Heat up the water a little bit more. I'm gonna turn my sun down so it's not crazy. Okay, comes heating up. That glass was cold. That water was hot. And there's my clouds. There's evaporation. It's evaporating and turning it into clouds. See my clouds climbing up over here? That's called evaporation, and we call it steam. Clouds inside our house is called steam. The steam is coming together to form water droplets inside our cloud here. Yep. And inside this cloud, eventually what will happen is those water droplets start to drip down and make rain, my friends. Those water droplets drip down and eventually make rain. And that is how rain happens. Right now, I feel like my cloud's gonna drip down in the form of sweat because it is so warm in here. But you know what? Totally worth it to be able to witness in my house how clouds are formed. Remember, the sun warms up the water in our body of water, like a puddle. Like, why are puddles there and all of a sudden puddles are gone? Well, the air and the sun warms it up so that the water evaporates. Everyone take your hands up like this and say, evaporates. That's right. They come up to the top and they come together, these water droplets, and they form a cloud. Eventually, that cloud gets bigger and bigger and heavier until the cloud can't help but accumulate so many big water droplets that it has to rain down. Rain down, that's right. And then once it rains down, it falls into rivers. Everyone take your hands like this. Rivers are kind of windy. And streams like this. It might help make waterfalls. Whoosh, whoosh. And all of those things come from the land into the rivers, into the streams that lead out to that big, huge body of water that we call the ocean. And eventually the cycle starts again. The warm sun heats up the ocean. The water evaporates up into the sky to form droplets inside the clouds. The clouds get heavier and heavier and heavier until whoosh, rain comes down into the land, into the streams, into the rivers, back down into the ocean, and over and over and over and over again. I love science. It feels like magic, but really, it's science. So way to go, meteorologists. Don't try the burning stuff at home, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing a picture of this cycle. Everyone take your hands like this. Water cycle. Okay, we're gonna be doing a picture of that coming up pretty soon in our seesaw activity. All right. Thanks for listening and hanging out with this cloud lady.